Hi guys, Scotty here with another DBZ Dokkan battle video for you. Today we're going to be looking at how you can easily beat the Perfect Cooperation Team Battle Stage 7 as well as all of its missions. To get these missions done, you're going to need to beat the event once, you're going to need to clear it without using any support item, you're going to need to bring a full fusion category team, and then just get all the missions done. As long as you get those three, you'll get those final stones there. So let's jump right into the team that we're going to be taking here, and there is a very specific setup that we're going to be doing, as well as a very specific team that we're going to be using. So this is a team that we landed on. This is a team I would recommend you bring, and there is a specific reason for that. We're going to be making use of the Veku side of the AGL Vegeta, so that's going to help us skip some turns, as well as the Phi Gogeta's ability to taunt and then dodge consistently, as well as a couple other things that I'll go over now. So this fight is a pretty big pain in the ass. As you may have noticed, you may have gone into it, you've seen the bombs, started attacking, all of that, and then out of nowhere your fresh new unit takes 600,000-700,000 damage. So what is going on here is the Trunks and Goten are going to crit, and they have a guaranteed, pretty much a guaranteed super in slot 1 each time, and that super is guaranteed to crit, so they will ignore all defense and guard. The only thing that will be reducing their damage down is pretty much if you can dodge it completely, if you can counter, but they are not Key Blast count supers, so they're not going to be counterable by the new AGL Gogeta. And the other option is just straight damage reduction. So you should see we don't take a huge amount of damage on the first turns of the Year 7 EZAs here, the God Boys and the Super Saiyan 4 Boys. So this setup that I've managed to get here now, these two rotations, pretty much exactly what you want to go for. There is going to be a bit of RNG. Sometimes you're going to roll into a rotation with this team where it just doesn't work out, but you pretty much want to start out with the God Boys on one rotation and then the Super Saiyan 4 Boys on the other rotation, so they can slot one because they can survive this fine with their 77% damage reduction on turn 1. So what you want to do is, for these first two rotations, if you can get this set up like this, great. If not, you might just have to stick it out or restart. What you want to do is try hold back a little bit. You notice that I'm being very strategic about giving my units a little bit of key, not fully supercharging them. I did unfortunately have to give all that key to Tech God Boys at the beginning there. There wasn't really an option, but see, I've held back on everyone else so we don't do too much damage. You don't want to come right out the gate just blitzing and then you kill Tech. You kill Tech Trunks first turn, and now suddenly you're into Gotenks and you haven't had a chance to pull out any turn 4 transformations or anything. So you'll get to the end of your turn, you'll swap over to Goten here. He does the exact same thing, bombs and crits and slot 1 supers and that. So you're going to want to put one of the 7th year anniversary allies in there, or someone who can dodge, or yeah, because Vegeta is going to take a huge amount of damage there because all he has is defense and guard, and that is getting bypassed by the crit, so it will kill him. So just be mindful of that and be careful. But the Goten and Trunks boss are pretty much exactly the same. Once you get past them, you can start trying to ramp up your damage in the second turn now, because you kind of want to kill them in 2 to 3 turns max. You don't want to start transforming before Gotenks is around. So yeah, and the goal is pretty much to get to Gotenks, and then I'll show you what we do with the Vekus and all of that. So just keep plugging away here and you will kill these guys in no time. Okay, so once you kill Goten and Trunks, you're going to get Gotenks, the first phase Gotenks, that is. You'll notice he has a little bar under his name there up at the top, and what that is going to do is that is denoting how many rainbow orbs you've got. So this is where the Gogetas come into play. They do a lot of rainbow orb changing, Phi Gogeta as well, or both Phi Gogetas do a lot of rainbow orb changing, so very, very good for this event. Talking about the 9th anniversary Phi Gogeta mainly, because he also has that taunt. But what you're going to do is, hopefully you can line this up as well. You might have to tank one turn and see how it goes, but if you can line it up where you get to turn 4 with the AGL Vegeta, then you can swap into Goku and you can do the Veku active. What that'll do is that will completely skip Gotenks Turn, and now you're not at risk to die. So you're going to do that twice, so you have an AGL Vegeta on each rotation, And then finally, you'll come back around to your third rotation, which should hopefully have Gogeta on it to do your dodging and your taunting. So that is where he's going to be useful as well. So you basically can time it so that you get 3 full turns of dodging and not taking any damage. And this lets you slowly get enough rainbow orbs, because you're going to need a lot of rainbow orbs. It is quite a few that you have to get, and obviously rainbow orbs don't burst, so it's all going to matter. It's all going to just come down to a bit of RNG, so you need a lot of rainbow orb changing, and that's where all these Gogetas come in. So you'll see that bar slowly starts to fill up at the top there, and as we get rainbow orbs, and we are barely going to do any damage to Gotenks in this phase while we are trying to get rainbow orbs. He has a colossal amount of health. He's got 1 billion health. He's got big damage reduction as well. His damage reduction goes up every turn, as well as his attack is going to go up every turn. So this is a very scary boss, this first phase, Gotenks. That's why you need the turn skips, so that you can have time to get all those rainbow orbs. And yeah, he's going to be increasing his damage reduction rate by 25% every turn, so he'll get to 95% damage reduction with his base 20% damage reduction and his additional 75%. You can't stun him. He gets attack plus 100% with each turn, and he is also going to crit, so you really pretty much can't take damage from him. You need to dodge, you need to Veku. So yeah, he also loves to super in slot 1. I think it's almost guaranteed. So if you can't Veku immediately, you could maybe put a unit that you can trust to dodge and hope that they do in slot 1. Like, we probably would have been fine with swapping to Goku and that, because you would have had a 80% chance to dodge in slot 1. Yeah, but this just lets us get a bit of free turns and get some more rainbow orbs. Once you've got enough rainbow orbs and have hopefully survived alright with the Vekus and with the Gogeta active, all of that, Gotenks will now transform into a much easier version of himself. There will be no more critting, which is the big problem, no more attack raising, and no more damage reduction. And then he is pretty much just becomes a fodder boss at that point. He's only supering for 1.5 million, and his normals are 500,000, so all these units will destroy him. So we're going to go ahead here and Veku again, and that's going to let us skip another turn, which is just fabulous. And then we are going to save AGL Gogeta's active for the end, so we can just boost up some damage, and we'll transform the God Boys here. They're going to be a very useful unit because they are going to be able to dodge with rainbow orbs, and we have a lot of rainbow orb changing on this team, so that is going to be incredibly helpful as well. So they're going to be great for this. You can transform them immediately. I would transfer them as soon as possible. Their base form is not going to survive because it relies on defense, and we're critting and ignoring a huge portion of defense. So yeah, you do not want them to take a super while they're in their base form and they don't have their damage reduction up. So yeah, this will be the next rotation now. You see that we are halfway to filling up the rainbow orbs. It pretty much is going to take about three rotations to fill up completely, and that's why then we also have the Gogeta coming in the next turn rotation that is going to give us a nice little boost. He's going to give us his active, which is then going to taunt. So just be careful about making use of Molpak Veku and the Gogeta active at the same time. There's no point in doing that. Save them and use them one after the other. Okay, on to the final rotation of this Gotenks before we move on to his next phase. Right, now you can see, luckily we managed to make everything line up, so we've got the Gogeta there, and we are going to be able to pop him, and he is going to dodge pretty much everything. He will taunt, and then he will dodge everything. It is an amazing active skill still, so yeah, that is super useful. So we'll just swap in like this. I think we're going to keep the Veku on rotation, and we'll keep Goku on rotation here because he can dodge in slot 1, and we'll possibly need that later, but probably not either, because this boss becomes much easier once you've actually done this part. Okay, don't forget to get your rainbow orbs as well. We get a ton of them this turn, and we should be fine. I think we actually don't get enough this turn, if I remember correctly. We are going to get to 3/4 of the way. So yeah, 3 to 4 turns pretty much. And then the 4th turn could be a little bit scary, which is why we've brought the the God Boys as well, the 7th year anniversary yellows, because they are going to be able to dodge if we give them enough rainbow orbs. So yeah, we are now pretty much doing no damage to Gotenks. So here you can see we are taunting and we are going to just dodge. So that is how that rotation is going to look. We're going to jump forward to the next rotation quickly. Okay, so if you are in this position that I was in and you have not managed to get enough rainbow orbs in 3 turns, this is going to be a very scary turn unless you have a guaranteed dodge or something. That first slot is pretty much death because yeah, that is a 400% boost, 300 to 400% boosted Gotenks with crits. So yeah, very, very scary. Luckily we have the God Boys here, so we are going to just pretty much dodge that. And what you could also do is, if you the physical Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta there, if you got enough rainbow orbs with him, he would have quite a bit of damage reduction. But a dodge in this instance is definitely better. I think here we had nearly 80% chance to dodge, so yeah, that luckily we do. Luckily we did dodge there. So we just pretty much need to survive the rest of the turn now. Once you dodge the first super, the rest of everything should be fine, because he's only going to be launching criticals when he supers, and his normals are not anything crazy. 500,000, yes, sure, he is getting extra attack, but these units should be able to handle it just fine as long as it's not a crit. So that will be the end of this phase, and we'll move on to his final phase. Okay, so you know that you've entered his final phase there. Once you get that bar under his name full, and then you'll see we switch into get a little demo there playing, and then we switch into this. Now, he becomes so much more manageable and pretty much an very easy fight at this point. Now you can just load up all your units, do as much damage as possible, and just kill him. He's got none of his previous kit. He's just got an immunity to being stunned, so no raising, no damage reduction raising, no super attack raising, no crits, no anything. So you'll be absolutely fine with getting this done from this point out. But yeah, skipping ahead again a little bit just to show you the end here. I hope this has helped. This fight was pretty irritating until we figured out what we need to do to skip a bunch of turns and all of that, and this should get all your missions done all with the same team at the same time. It might require a little bit of RNG to get it done, but yeah, it's a good team, and all done, stage is finished. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next video.